Hello there guys, this is just a compilation video of all of my Inktober shorts. With each day I flip to the next page, so I thought it would be really cool to actually just have it in one continuous video. Plus the fact I did this last year as well, and don't worry, if you prefer a sketchbook tour, I'll be doing one of those as well. I just thought it'd be nice to have all the shorts in one place, and the sketchbook tour is coming really soon, hopefully by the end of the week. Until then, enjoy the compilation.
So Inktober came around. Yeah, that came around a lot quicker than I expected this year. So Inktober day 1, 2024, backpack. I've recently been getting into a lot of game artwork and focusing on some UI elements. So I thought, why not do it in that sort of style? Not every day is going to be this sort of style, but I wanted to experiment. I added several nods to my character universe, like the little Loca pin, as well as other little pins that I have on my own bag as well. There's a bottle of Fanta in the drinks holder, and the little potion bottle keychain I actually sell in my online shop. But that is my day 1 backpack. Are you doing Inktober? Let's connect in the comments and follow for more. Inktober day 2, discover. This one definitely goes for more of a narrative approach. It's a part of the story where Lucille actually finds a hidden part of the castle, and she finds an abandoned part of Hallie's history. I reused the ink from day 1 and mixed it with a purple to have a warmer hue. And then I got out my Daniel Smith and White Knight watercolours. The key thing to remember with watercolours is that there's going to be ugly stages, and this one went through many ugly stages. But after many layers and many glazes of different colours, I definitely got the result that I wanted. There comes a point where you start overworking a piece, and this almost got to that point. But what do you think of this piece? Sound off in the comments and follow for more. Inktober day 3, boots. I had to draw my most iconic character who wears the most fabulous boots, Loki. Originally, I was just going to draw a plain pair of boots, but I was like, no, let's draw my character putting on her boots because she is fabulous. I enjoy drawing that curly hair. And of course, I had to do my favourite type of skyline, a sunset. I spent way too long on this piece, but I don't regret it because it came out better than I imagined. But now I've got to catch up with myself because I'm busy tomorrow. Do you think I can do it? And what do you think of this piece? Sound off in the comments and follow for more. Inktober day 4, exotic. We are cutting it a little bit close today, but I managed to get it done. For exotic, we have Eliana and her pet, Birdie. Now originally, I didn't really know what species Birdie was, but I kind of thought, well, maybe Birdie would be a phoenix, and what is more exotic than a bird that does not exist? Truth be told, I actually pre-sketched 5 days in advance because I am pretty busy this month, and I'm very quickly running out of pre-sketch days. Maybe a YouTube livestream is needed this weekend to really help me catch up with Inktober. Tell me what you think of this piece down below, and if the live stream is a good idea. And you can follow to see what I create next.
Inktober day 5, binoculars. This is my sea captain character, Callan, and he's holding a pair of binoculars for the prompt. This might be a controversial take, but I'm not really a huge fan of this piece. But it's not for the reason you might expect. I love drawing my character, the colours turned out great. I think it's the composition for me. It just, I don't know, there's something about it that just feels off. And also, I was halfway through when I kind of thought to myself, I wish I would have done something different for this page. And when I mean different for this page, I mean like day 1 sort of style, with that game art UI sort of aesthetic. But the shape of the binoculars pretty much would have been identical to how you see Callan holding them. But I'd love to know what you think down in the comment section. And follow for more Inktober content. Inktober day 6, trek. For this one, I decided to put the word into a sentence. She had a long trek ahead of her. The character that you see is Loki, same character as day 3. But in this part of her story, she runs away from home after a really traumatic event. Now I am late to this, but this prompt completely stumped me in terms of composition, in terms of colour. I did not know anything of what I wanted to do. And to make things worse, day 8's word is hike, which trek and hike, they're pretty much the same thing. In terms of laying down the inks and all the different colours, I was winging it the entire time. I was like, I hope this looks good. But what do you guys think? Sound off in the comments below and follow for more. Inktober Day 7, Passport. This passport says the Kingdom of Loka. It expands on the lore of the world a little bit. I imagine this passport belonging to a citizen of Loka, specifically Thomas Callisto. Thomas is a childhood friend of the king. He comes from a lower ranking noble family, but he does travel away for school, specifically a knight's academy. And since this would be his passport, I just added one of his chains. I also went with that game art aesthetic that I did for day 1. I love the little splashes of different colours here and there, and I'm loving the experimentation with just playing around with colour. I really love the simplicity of this piece, but tell me what you think down below in the comments, and follow for more. Inktober Day 8, Hike. This one was very similar to Day 6, Trek, and since I had so much issue with Trek in the first place, this one also proved a challenge. I did get some feedback that I was definitely overdoing it with the white lines, so this one I definitely wanted to have white lines at a minimum and emphasise the contrast. It's interesting to note that this one actually links back to Trek in a way because the male character in this is actually the son of Loki from Day 6, and the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree because this is him running away with his friend. With this piece, I definitely played around with opacity. This month, I'm doing a lot of experimentation with different techniques, and this one focuses on opacity, but I'd love to know what you think so I can improve on future pieces. And follow for more. Inktober Day 9, Sun. So because I've done quite a lot of landscape pieces the last few days, I just wanted to do something a little bit simpler, and I actually have a character who is actually of a sun kingdom, Solaro. In the current timeline, Solaro is merged with Verona, the Crystal Kingdom, but this is the last ruler of the Sun Kingdom, Veronica. Days 6, 8 and 10 in terms of concepts and ideas have just been so mentally draining because they're so similar, but I want to make different pieces out of them, that I just wanted this one to be a bit simpler. I'm really liking the level of contrast I got on this piece, as well as the little sparkly accents. But I'd love to know what you think down below in the comments, and follow for more. Inktober Day 10, Nomadic. For this one, I decided to do somebody who lives on the seas. So this is one of the daughters of my sea captain, Callan, from Day 5. I would argue that Callan's daughters, Marriner and Megan, have the best bedroom view. Just imagine being in Mariner's place right now in the drawing. If you've been following along, this isn't actually the first time you've seen Marriner. She appeared in Day 8, Hike, alongside her best friend and potential love interest, Kai, and she runs away with him because she wants a more permanent place to call home. And this ideal is very misunderstood by everyone on board the ship. But I'm curious, should I start telling more of these character universe stories in these videos? Tell me what you think and follow for more. Inktober Day 11, Snack. I'm gonna admit, this piece did not turn out great. It was going so well, the line work was looking cute, and then I decided, you know what, let's try out a new technique. Instead of going in with the indigo ink, I thought, why not try indigo Copics before going in with regular Copics on top? No! You got a muddy mess. I wish I could turn back time and redo the colours, but this goes to show even artists who know what they're doing most of the time have their off days. I still think it looks pretty bad, but I did manage to salvage it from how bad it did look. But what do you think? Comment down below and follow for more. Inktober Day 12, Remote. For this, I could have done something simple, like a gaming remote, but no, I decided to do a whole ass landscape. I think I just wanted to make up for yesterday's fail. Just a tad, just a little bit. I had a comment on my YouTube shorts about a specific kind of landscape idea, so I kind of took that as a basis and then ran with it. I linked it back to my character universe by looking through my old development journals. I decided to paint an area of my character universe known as Prism. Inhabitants of Prism are very community based, and they don't really like the interference of the outside world. So much so that some of them even live in tree houses. Prism is known as the Garden of Light. So I thought this would be a perfect fit for remote. But what do you think? Tell me your thoughts in the comments and follow for more. Inktober Day 13, Horizon. So if you've followed my Inktober journey to this point, you'll know that I love me a good sunset. And when the prompt is Horizon, it gives me every excuse under the sun to do that for this prompt. In some of my previous Inktober pieces, I've had this on-running theme, especially with horizon-based pieces or things to do with the sea, where you see an old-style ship alongside a mermaid. The ship being Callan's ship, the Red Runaway, and the mermaid being my character Pearl. This style of callbacks within my artwork actually dates back to Inktober of 2018, and those previous years of doing Inktober are actually available as art books in my Etsy shop. But I'm curious, do you have a quirk about your artwork that makes it unique? I'd love to hear your answers and thoughts about this artwork down below in the comments. And follow for more. Inktober Day 14, Rome. I was starting to get incredibly stumped with what to do next. So for inspiration, I looked back through my old art books that I've made for my Inktobers over the years. Now Rome could be taken in the case of roaming down the corridors, and this is the idea that I followed. This character that I've drawn is Holly Blue. She is the Princess of Mariposa and she marries into the Avis royal family, only to discover that her father-in-law, the Emperor, is hiding a very gruesome secret. The piece this is linked to is Inktober 2018 Chop. I like to think that these two pieces link together in a way. It's really interesting using the same concept twice, but with 6 years in between, and from a different angle. I'd love to know what you think in the comments section, and follow for more. Inktober Day 15, Guidebook. Now when I think guidebook, I think of Spyro 2. I have Alora's voice lines in my head about Avalar's guidebook. So of course, for me, this had to be a game art themed day. But I did make sure to add some of my own elements, like a different colour, different design of the book. It has a little diamond on the front that's like a Sims plumb bob, and little wings around it. I thought it was cute. And 2 bookmarks because I'm very indecisive. This artwork should not have taken as long as it did, but oh well. And then I busted out the Finetech metallic paints. They sparkly, they lovely. But did I go a bit overboard? Yeah, I think so. I'm sure my Aries too much gene was showing. But I'd love to know, did I go too far? Leave me a comment and be sure to follow for more. Inktober Day 16, Grungy. I really wanted to do a character-focused piece of artwork like Day 9's Sun, but I also wanted to match the theme, and I thought, what could be grungy? And then it hit me, a knight in training. And I have several knights in my character universe. This character's name is Warwick Blade, and he is what I refer to as my disaster child, because he is very accident and disaster prone. I think the most controversial addition to this piece is blood. I think I did go overboard a bit with the blood in this piece, but I really enjoy doing the Copic technique I have for blood, which is E07 with R000, even using drops from the Copic refills to get like a more blood splattered effect. So how did I do? Comment down below and follow for more. Inktober Day 17, Journal. I'm gonna be honest, I had to re-sketch this one because all I had in the original sketch was just a book, an open book, that was it. No background detail, no nothing. What really helped me with this piece was figuring out whose journal this could be. and I settled on Camilla Callisto, the wife of the king's best friend Thomas. This scene is inspired by a prototype game that I'm making in Unreal Engine 5, based on my old webtoon, Interconnected. I have a lot of projects. I've used my character universe to experiment with so many different types of mediums, such as game making in Unity and Unreal Engine, and webcomics on Webtoon. Seeing my characters' worlds and stories come to life in so many different forms brings me a lot of joy. I want to say welcome to all the new followers. Your support has been incredibly amazing, but if you like my Inktober series, follow for more. Inktober Day 18. Drive. For this one, I thought I would test out a new ink that I brought. The main colour of the car in this one is the Ferris Wheel Press Ambrosia Indulgence, and it does have a little bit of sparkle to it. The characters in this piece are Crown Prince Micah of Verona and his new wife, Princess Yumi. And in terms of the timeline, they have literally just got married, so I thought that them driving off into their new life together would be a really cute piece for Drive. I'm so curious as to how people interpreted this prompt. Also, do not ask me what type of car Micah has, I don't do cars, that's my dad's forte, not mine. I was using a reference image. I'd love to know what you think of this piece in the comments, and follow for more. Inktober Day 19. Ridge. I was honestly at a loss for this one. I did not know what I wanted to do at all. All these prompts are feeling like they're blending together at this point. And it's great if you're doing a cohesive set of illustrations, but if you want to do something different every single day, it will get boring very quickly. But this character, her name is Ruby, she is actually a pop star, and I kind of imagine this piece as a bit of like an album cover. She's just sitting on a ridge overlooking the countryside. Within my character universe, Ruby is actually a really interesting character. Her cousin ends up becoming the Queen of Dune, and I would say her biggest fan is Princess Yumi, who actually appeared in Day 17's piece, Getting Married. I'd love to know what you think of this piece in the comments. I'm currently a day behind with Inktober, but can I catch up? Follow for more to find out. Inktober Day 20. Uncharted. Now for this one, I decided to draw my Vampire Kingdom Huxley, because I imagine Huxley used to be on so many maps, and as time went on, it faded from maps and even from knowledge to most people, so it truly became an uncharted kingdom. For this one, I used my ink rollable pens. They're pens that have like wet ink that comes out of the pen, but it dries after a bit. You have that small window of time where you can water it down. You mainly use them for writing, but I and several classmates in uni used to use this technique all the time, and it was so much fun. It was really quick and messy and just so expressive. I used Jackman's granulating watercolours to get all that texture, and it looks so good. I'd love to know your thoughts down below in the comments, and follow for more. Inktober Day 21. Rhinoceros. Now, I think out of all of the Inktober prompts, this one was the most outlandish, the most ridiculous. But I was trying to find a way to actually make it make sense. And I thought, how about a picture of a little kid playing with a toy rhinoceros? This little cutie is Cairo. He is currently the youngest child of the Pharaoh of Dune. Is this my best work? No, not by a long shot. But I thought it was really cute. I tried switching up the indigo with a purple violet, and it kind of worked, kind of didn't work. It depended what colour it was underneath, but we live and we learn. I'm tempted to try other colours as a shadow colour. Let me know what you think of this piece, and follow for more. Inktober Day 22. Camp. With this piece, I went with Kai and Marriner again, because after running away, they actually camp out in an old abandoned castle, and I thought that that would be a really sweet one to illustrate. Also, playing with lighting again, because I love playing with glow effects. A fun fact on the metallic watercolours in this piece, they're actually handmade paints by my art friend Taz, and they are so gorgeous. I just had to use them on a piece. I am very well aware that I am behind on Inktober. I do intend to catch up over the weekend that is coming up. And since I've completed my game making course, I've actually got a bit of extra time to spare now, so I'm very much looking forward to catching up. I'd love to know your thoughts about this piece in the comments section, and follow for more. Inktober Day 23. Rust. When I think of rust, I think of flaking off metal, discoloration, so oranges and greens kind of appear. And I was thinking, what would rust really easily? An anchor of a ship, because it would constantly be exposed to air and water. For the last few days, I'd been using my primary colour set of inks, cyan, magenta and yellow, alongside indigo. However, this piece uses the secondary colours set of orange, violet and sap green. I also used a bit of cyan for the water effect, as well as those metallic watercolours, just mwah, I love them. This piece was definitely a lot of fun, a lot of experimentation with colour going on here, but what are your thoughts? Leave them down below in the comments, and follow for more. Inktober Day 24. Expedition. Okay, I am at my wit's end with how many words basically imply the same thing. So far, we've had trek, hike, nomadic, roam, and ridge. Hell, even drive could imply the same thing. There's so many landscape words as well, just please give me a break. But that aside, this piece actually links back to one of the previous illustrations during this Inktober. It's linked with Day 20, Uncharted. It's done in a very similar style, and it's also of the same location. This mysterious character is making an expedition to Huxley. But this is uncharted territory. Whatever could it be for? Last year's Day 25 should tell you all you need to know. And with Day 24 done, there is 7 days left. I really hope you stick around for more. Inktober Day 25. Scarecrow. Now this is another one of those ridiculous words, kind of a bit like Rhinoceros. However, I kind of see Scarecrow as a protector. A scarecrow is usually humanoid and of baseless fear, and this made me think of my character Sparrow. Sparrow is the son and heir of the Emperor of Avis. After his father's tyrannical reign comes to an end, Sparrow is left to pick up all the pieces. Because Avis has lived with such tyranny, people are scared, but Sparrow is nothing like his father. His appearance changes when he becomes emperor, from the perfect prince to the scarred emperor. I would label Sparrow as one of my most unfortunate characters. Lots of tragedy and angst in his story. I'd love to know what you think of this piece, the story and the character down below in the comments, and follow for more. Inktober Day 26. Camera. Originally I was just going to do a picture of a camera, but I thought, why not make it part of my character universe? A scene that happens. After the Queen of Halley, Lucille, has her firstborn son Felix, they need a photographer to take the first pictures of this royal baby. This is Michael, and fun fact, Michael was actually created in an Instagram Designs My OCs episode, a video series from a long time ago. Michael eventually ends up with Lucille's cousin Anthony, who is holding baby Felix. This is actually how they first met. I actually used my YouTube filming camera as reference for this piece, to help me get the overall look and proportions of the camera right. This piece is mainly done in Copic and Ohuhu markers, with my white deleter ink for highlights. I'd love to know what you think of this piece, and follow for more. Inktober Day 27. Road. Yep, we have another landscape piece, people! And I'm about to lose my goddamn mind! The basic premise behind this piece is Lucille and Briar's trip to Halley. So Lucille travels from Loca via carriage through Verona. They pick up Briar along the way and then head to the docks to go to Halley. If you've never seen my stuff before, I have a whole character universe. There is a world map. There is so much detail here. My experience with Inktober over the years, I can make some pretty wacky words work. In my opinion, definitely not my best work. Those trees are looking a bit iffy to me. but I do like the colours at the very least. I am still behind on Inktober, but it's only by a day. It's all these repeating words and themes, it's making it 10 times harder. But let me know what you think of this piece, and follow for more. Inktober Day 28, Jumbo. Now for this prompt, I didn't really have anything specific in mind, I just wanted to draw one of my characters. So I kind of thought about it, and I came across Jalul. Jalul was a boy who was born with a curse to transform into a dragon. I imagine his wingspan being absolutely huge, and when he shifts into a dragon, he becomes taller and bigger as a result. He is definitely a gentle giant type of character, and I love him so much. Instead of indigo as a base layer, I actually use magenta. This helps meld all the colours together, and it looked really good for most of the colours. I was really surprised by it. But that just means I need to experiment some more. But what do you think of this piece? Sound off in the comments and follow for more. Inktober Day 29, Navigator. With 3 days left of Inktober, I wanted it to be simple. I've done a lot of complex stuff over the course of this month, so I thought I'd bring it back to basics. To be a navigator is to know directions to a place, a person, or an object. You can use many different items to be a navigator, including a telescope, a compass, and a map, which is exactly what appears in this artwork. These belong to my captain character, Callan, who has appeared throughout my Inktober journey, but also the look of this artwork is inspired by a sticker that I sell in my Etsy shop. That sticker being of Callan's map of Marriner. The style of this piece was inspired by Day 17's journal because I really liked the textures and the lighting in that piece. But I'd love to know what you think of this piece, and follow for more. Inktober Day 30, Violin. Sticking with the theme of it being a little bit more simpler for the last 3 days, I decided on another character illustration. This one is of Cleo, or Cleopatra. She is the second child of Pharaoh Matt and Cairo's older sister. I imagine Cleo being incredibly talented musically. I mainly used Copic markers to achieve Cleopatra's colouring, but for the background I went with watercolour. I really enjoyed the subtle mix of colours here, layering colours on top of each other, as well as having that subtle hint of sparkle. The end of Inktober is always very bittersweet for me because I love it, but at the same time, I can't wait for it to be over, especially in the moment. Inktober and October as a whole went by so quickly, but I hope you stick around for after October. I definitely have some more art videos planned, but I'd love to know what you think of this piece, and follow for more. Inktober Day 31, Landmark. We made it, guys! The end of Inktober, yay! There were points during this Inktober where I wanted to wave my white flag of surrender, but I didn't. This piece is of my character River. She is the last princess of Layluna. Layluna and Loka merged together with her marriage to Jonathan, the heir of Loka. River actually dies prematurely in the story due to unnatural circumstances, and she is greatly mourned by the kingdom. I imagine her statue becoming a landmark in Loka. For this one, I used the Jackman's granulating watercolours, giving the texture its moment to shine. If you did Inktober this year, I'd love to know how you got on in the comment section. I'm really surprised at how many people found my artwork through Inktober this year. It's been such a huge blessing. I'm definitely going to be doing more art projects in the future, so I hope you stick around. Inktober 2024 is complete. Let's do a sketchbook flip through. If I had to say my personal favourites, it would be Passport at Day 7, Sun at Day 9, Horizon at Day 13, Journal at Day 17, Ridge at Day 19, Rust at Day 23, and Navigator at Day 29. It's actually really difficult to narrow it down for me, but I think the two that come to mind immediately for me are Day 17, Journal, and Day 29, Navigate, with Day 13's Horizon and Day 23's Rust as swap outs for those two. But I'm curious, what are your favourite pieces that I've done for Inktober this year? And since I didn't really narrow it down too much, I'll give you a top 3 to choose from. I hope you enjoyed my Inktober series. and stick around for more art content.